Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope you're having a good day as always. In the last video, I said that I was going to be making a new video about college football, and that's what I'm doing today. I missed this video last week. It's almost the start of college football season, and there was something I've always thought was interesting, and that is the debate of whether or not college athletes should be paid. Now, this is actually a conversation that me and my girlfriend had recently. We are on different ends of the spectrum when it comes to this conversation, and I don't necessarily think that I'm right and she's wrong. I just have my opinions and she has hers. So my video today is going to be about why I personally do not think athletes should be paid at the collegiate level. And this is coming from, a big Alabama fan. I'm a football fan specifically. I love college football, love the athletes. I want them to be as successful as possible, but that doesn't mean that I think the actual university should pay them. So what I'm going to do is give you my 4 reasons why. I'll also give you a few reasons why one could argue that they should be paid, but ultimately I'd love to know what you guys think. So definitely make sure to leave a comment in the comment area, and also if you want to give a shout out to your team, definitely make sure to do that. Roll Tide. But let's go ahead and get into the conversation. Now, the number 1 reason why I think college athletes should not be paid is that they just get so much stuff for free already. I mean, when you look at the fact that a lot of athletes are already having their tuition covered, they've got room and board covered, for certain schools they get unlimited food, they have state-of-the-art training equipment, they get free clothing, free travel when they go places, and the really, really big one, in my opinion, is going to be medical care. Now, I know every single athlete, hopefully never has to go through a medical procedure, but literally look at this, right? When it comes to the U.S. and healthcare costs and, how a lot of this stuff is out of control, right? If an athlete, let's say a college football player, tears their ACL, right? They're going to go get surgery for free by some amazing doctors, right? Whereas if there's a physics student who falls down the stairs, breaks their leg, the university is not going to come to their rescue and pay for them, to get the medical treatment that they need. And that cost alone is staggering, I would have to imagine. Now, so that's the number 1 thing that I think. They just get so much stuff for free. Okay, when you look at it, across the entire year, they're getting tens and tens of thousands of dollars that your normal student does not. Okay, reason number 2. I think if you start paying college athletes, it's going to open up a whole can of worms of determining who gets paid what. Right? I looked at Alabama's, I think it was their 2018 income, and they had over $100 million in revenue, and I think like $15 million in profit. The most of that was generated by the football team, then I think the men's basketball team, and then there were actually a lot of other programs that ran deficits. Okay, so if you're going to start paying athletes, knowing that it's football that is bringing in the most money, does that mean that, the football players are going to be paid more than, let's say, the softball players, the volleyball players, the baseball players, right? From a logistics standpoint, it would make sense to me, but from a fairness standpoint, is it fair to say, oh, we value the football players more than your sport and your contributions? So I just think it would be a really, really hard juggling act, because let's face it, not each sport generates the same level of revenue. And, if you were to pay a football player 10 times what you would pay a tennis player or something like that, I just don't know how that would fly in today's university setting. So that's reason number 2. I think it would just get really, really messy. Reason number 3, I personally feel like the majority of the revenue that is generated by sports should go back into the generic university account, right? Make school more affordable, give better equipment, better facilities, do everything you can to help out the entire university, not just your individual sports program. Now, I obviously don't have all the data as to where this money goes, and there has to be a good amount going to just general scholarship funds or whatever it may be. I just think there should be a much larger portion of the money going to the generic university. I would love to know if any of you guys happen to work in the finance arena of a university and you happen to deal with this stuff firsthand, really how much goes in for, let's say a fund that all students can benefit from. I would really, really love to know that. But ideally, in my opinion, coach pay should be kind of knocked down a little bit. We don't need to pay athletes But again, for these major universities that pull in big bucks, help out the entire student base. Now, the last and most important reason why I do not think universities should pay student athletes is because I think they should be allowed to pursue money on their own, which currently they're not allowed to do. It frustrates me that the NCAA gets in the way with this. But rather than forcing the university to pay a student, why not let that student set up shop, and if he wants to autograph for a few hours for 20 bucks a jersey, whatever, he should be allowed to do that. If he wants to take, let's say, an interview with ESPN or a local radio station and they were willing to pay him for that, he should be able to. They should be allowed to make money on what they do on the field. I don't know why we prevent something like that. My guess is that it gets into like booster contributions, and the states or the schools that are already doing well have a much bigger alumni base to pour money into high school athletes directly. So I imagine that's why. But at the end of the day, I really do think student athletes should be able to make money for the gift that they have and what they share with the university, and they shouldn't be stopped and prevented for receiving certain benefits that they cannot receive today. Now, those are all of my reasons why I think they should not be paid. Again, I'm not saying I'm right, but if there's anything that I left out and you happen to agree with me, definitely let me know. I do want to talk about a few things that, I do understand, at least from the other end of the spectrum. Number one, especially when it comes to a sport like football, like these kids really are putting their life and their health at risk. I say life, fairly loosely, but people have died playing all sorts of sports, especially in football, right? And when this could have potentially long-term health issues that affects, your ability to function in life, not just your sport, but in life, I could understand wanting to say, hey, we're willing to pay you because you are, exposing yourself to these dangers. I know it's voluntary, and that's why I personally don't think they should be paid as well, because it's a voluntary situation. But I do understand that, these schools are making so much money based off what these kids are doing. It stands to reason they could throw some money the kids' way. I do get that. The other thing that I want to say is literally the universities are making insane levels of money. Again, I said this earlier, Alabama Athletics, it was like $140 million in revenue with $15 million in profit. Like, there is money to go around. There's not a shortage of that. Now, the last thing I would add as to a reason why you may want to consider paying athletes is that, you do have to acknowledge that not everyone is on scholarship. There are walk-on athletes, I'm sure, in every single sport. And so they don't get the same benefit that their fellow teammates have. So if they're able to be compensated at the same level that some of their other fellow athletes were paid, that would kind of help in equalizing the playing field a little bit. Sorry for that pun. But, all in all, those are the reasons that I can understand why they should potentially be allowed to be paid. I just don't really think we should go that direction, and I think there's better solutions on the other side. Again, allowing students to perceive their own wealth, and that's just kind of where I lie on this conversation. But all in all, that's just a really, really quick video that I wanted to make, and I want to make more of these just conversational videos. I know this has pretty much nothing to do with personal finance because it doesn't affect us directly unless you are an athlete, in which case if you are a college athlete, I really want to know how you feel about this conversation. But either way, I want to have more of these videos, so please make sure to like, subscribe, comment, share. If you feel like supporting the channel directly, check out some of my affiliate and referral links down below. But thank you so much for watching. Make smart financial decisions, roll Tide, and I'll see you guys next time. Hey guys, I know I just said this stuff, but let me say it again. Thank you so much for watching this video. I appreciate all the support that you guys give me. And to support you, here's 2 more videos that I've made in the past in case you haven't seen them. Don't forget to share these with your friends and family so we can help all the people achieve their financial goals. Likewise, if there's anything that you would want to see made that you haven't seen thus far, definitely don't hesitate to let me know. But thanks again, take care, and have a good day.